to continue to appease a system built for my failure. But I don't believe this is true. I can see the 1% chance of me succeeding, so I hold on to this cloud of hope, despite my own faults, yelling at me to give up, despite my own depression.
Hi, my name is Miles Coney, and welcome to Quarantine Chronicles, and welcome to another episode. And we have our guest speaker, Malia.
Hi, everyone.
Today I'm going to be asking Malia about her quarantine pandemic experience and what is her story that she wants to tell about this. Because I know it's affected you a lot, right?
Yes, definitely has kind of turned my life around. Well, around in a good way, but also upside down.
All right, let's get straight to the questions.
Sure.
Question number 1. What do you do for a living, and talk about your background?
Okay. Currently, I'm officially unemployed, but that's actually given me time to start pursuing a freelance writing, career. I started actually getting some script rights, so I've been doing that, and then also selling some artworks, and then doing some acting, kind of doing my freelance creative works that I was doing on the side at the other job that I did have that actually let me go at the beginning of the pandemic in the Bay Area. I guess a little bit about my background is that, so I'm 6'6", and yes, I did play basketball. I went pro, but I actually gave it up because I had a ton of injuries, and I just didn't want to get older and just be in pain all the time. So I kind of escaped more damage, but I do live with some chronic back pain, but it's not been as terrible as it used to be because I was given enough time to kind of heal and recuperate. So that's a good thing that happened from getting laid off of that job. I just had time to rest. I guess more about me is that I'm very passionate about creativity. So I spend a lot of time writing poetry. I have 10 books out that I independently publish. So I'm an indie author, indie creative. I do artwork, abstract, expressionism, and I actually just started doing artwork last year, 14 months ago, and I had no idea what I was doing. I started with makeup, and what happened was I just got really inspired one day to see how my artwork appeared to other people. So I just started submitting it to random publishers, and then films just started getting picked up to get published, and I was like, maybe I'll do this more.
Oh, wait.
So yes. Okay. Well, the painting part?
Yeah, the painting part.
Okay. So I just started doing painting last year, about 14 months ago, and I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know anything about painting. I just had a bunch of old makeup, and I pulled it out and just started mixing around things, and ended up making some things that were worth publishing because I got super inspired. I was like, I want to see what other people think of this, and I wonder if I could do this and be good at it. And then people or different publications started picking different pieces up to get published. And so that started a whole different branch of just creativity for me. Painting, I use it in fashion imagery, and I right before the pandemic hit, I had just started getting into being like a creative director for fashion shoots and kind of doing the painting on models and casting models and stuff like that. Other than that, I just love acting. I love storytelling. I love just collaborating, and I love that I have the time sort of to do that now. So that's kind of my background. It's like very sporty, and then all of a sudden very creative. So that's where I'm at now.
How has the COVID pandemic affected you in your day-to-day life?
Sure. So the pandemic has, I guess, completely took me on a little bit of a ride because in the Bay Area, that's where I was living. I moved out here to Southern California in June. Um, I was working a 9 to 5 at a startup. I was actually waking up at 3, quarter to 4 to get in on my creative endeavors. And then I was going to work, and then that was a whole different lifestyle for me. I felt like I was a different person then. Day to day, I just, much of the same, I just have a lot of time to do my creative endeavors and kind of reorganize what I want to do going forward. I think that's the biggest thing that COVID-19 has done for me. It just kind of gave me the time and space I needed to heal up my body physically, and also kind of pushed me into a corner of, Malia, what do you want to do with your life? Is this what you really want to go to this startup? You want to go to these companies that you're not passionate about their, what they're standing for and things like that? Or do you want to actually give yourself a shot and kind of pursue your creative endeavors, because you've been wanting to do this? Like, I've been wanting to do it for a long time, so I've been just pushing it to the side. So on weekends and the mornings, I would just do my writings and stuff like that. With the impact of COVID-19, it kind of took away that job, which took so much time and me tired, and gave me that energy back, and kind of I use that to redirect where I want to focus going forward. Now, day to day, I don't have a typical 9 to 5 job right now, which has been a really big blessing. But honestly, I really love working, and it's kind of a shame that a lot of things are just shut down, especially in the entertainment industry. So it's really a bummer, but I'm trying my best to kind of collaborate with people or meet them on the internet. And I think that's kind of the adjustment that a lot of us are having to make right now.
What is something good that has come out of this situation?
I would say self-realization, kind of being able to take control over my destiny. I think I had been wanting to move to Los Angeles for years, and every time I came close, this is not the first time I've gotten laid off, which is why I think I handled it so much better than previous times in the Bay Area, because startup culture is a crusher out there. It was actually the third time I got laid off, so this time I was prepared mentally. And emotionally, it probably impacted me for like a day. I was teary, like, oh, I lost my job, and then I realized, oh, I lost my job. Cool. So then I had the ability to decide and make a choice, like, oh, I could stay in the Bay Area and try to do this life again and again. When I know it's not working for me because I'm not happy, I'm not passionate out there. It just didn't feel like home. So I took that chance, and I think the good thing about what happened, which is kind of a weird thing to say, is that it gave me the keys to open up a new door that I've been wanting to open for a while.
What is something bad or something you don't like about the situation?
Oh, I don't like that. It feels very uncomfortable. I remember when it first started, just walking around with masks and walking into stores and just feeling this eerie feeling. I felt like everybody felt the same feeling. We don't know what's happening. We don't know how bad it's going to get. We're just trying to make it through this moment right now. I think the worst part is that obviously there's a lot of people who have died and that are continuing to get sick, and it's this ongoing fear that you could catch this virus and your body could just not handle it well, and it could not go well. And then also existing with asthma. So I have a respiratory disease already, which kind of made it scarier when it first hit, because everybody was hitting me up saying, oh, you have asthma, be careful. And I'm like, okay. So that's scary, but also I just miss people. I miss in-person collaborations without the fear of infecting somebody or getting infected. I miss things like improv comedy. I miss going to open mics. I miss just events. I miss going to bars, even though I don't drink. Just being around people and connecting. I think that's what I miss the most.
Wow. So you have asthma?
Yes.
So do I. I have asthma.
Yeah. So you know the feeling.
Oh yes, I know the feeling of where at the point you can't breathe, and it's just
Yeah, and it's weird too. It's even worse because of all the fires out here in California. So, like, as soon as smoke and blankets are like it's doing right now, it's just engulfing the skies. It's been like this for a few weeks now, for almost a month actually, because I was up in the Bay Area in August, and it was just so bad. I was getting smoke-related symptoms, and those
Mhm.
symptoms overlap with the COVID-19 symptoms. So I'm like, I know I don't have COVID-19. But I have these bad headaches and I can't breathe and like my nose was bleeding. It was just it's terrible. Um,
Wow. What is the first thing you want to do when this is over?
the first thing when this is over, I just want to walk into a busy mall or busy store or busy area without my mask and just breathe and just smile at a stranger and say, I know
Hey,
what you're saying, instead of being like, hello, being, huh? What'd you say? Sometimes. I'm trying to learn how to speak with my eyes, especially when I go to stores and the cashiers are trying to talk to me.
oh
I'm
yeah.
already so tall, so I'm like having to scream, and then I'm like, am I being impolite right now? But
Mm.
no. Yeah, I think that's something I'm looking forward to do.
What is a thing you have learned about yourself that you are working on changing to be better when this is over?
Probably sticking to my priorities. With all the added time, I I'm not used to having so much time, especially to devote to my creative projects, because I'm always like, oh, I have 3 hours here, and then I can do 8 hours here on the weekend because then I'm gonna get tired. Um, I had that job, but ever since I got laid off, I found myself in large gaps of the week, just not really getting much done and not really pressuring myself. I think that's what I learned too, is just to kind of go with the flow more. And instead of for like I tend to do, I tend to just force myself to do my work and sit down and schedule everything out because I'm a Virgo. Um, and I just kind of I'm learning how to go with the flow and not only discipline myself, but also relax and just kind of try to enjoy what I do a little bit more and approach everything with a state of gratitude and passion. Because I think those are the things that push me forward the most. So I'm trying to learn how to do that more.
All right. So, do you have any last words for the audience?
Um, I guess hang in there, everybody. This will lift eventually, and I guess use this time to just rediscover who you are and what you love about life and what you're thankful for. I think could help people get through it a little bit easier. I'll show you the sample. This is not the official one because you can see it's the author's copy. This book I just released is called Chronic Pain, and that's a piece that I did. And it's a part of a series called The Crying Woman and The Crying Man. And this one's actually more eerie in person. The painting is just, it creeps me out. Sometimes I make things that creep myself up. But
Wow.
in the book, it's basically poetry and then other artworks. And
Oh,
all,
okay.
all of my portrait paintings are abstract and have different styles. Like this one is called,
Oh, the screaming woman. Okay.
I think
Okay.
you can see the woman, it looks like she's screaming. But this book is just basically, okay, so Chronic Pain is my latest poetry book I wrote, and I included my original artworks. And this is from a series called The Crying Woman, and I also have The Crying Man. Basically, they all look like this, and they're crying. They're a little bit more creepier in person, I've been told, but that's kind of my style. I like to make kind of creepy gothic art, and they're all kind of different. Um,
Okay. All right.
And then this is the crying man. This is my first crying man.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that's really
so
cool.
I do that, and then this book is just basically my commentary on living with spine disease I was diagnosed with in November. And it's just affected and impacted my daily life a lot. And it kind of changed me a lot which is funny because it happened right before COVID. Um, and it kind of changed the way that I viewed my life and where I wanted to go as well. So it's just impacted me a lot. And this one's just talking about what it's like to live with chronic pain. Um, so I tend to write very sarcastically, satirically, and also gothic poetry. So like some of them are like this one's called Disability Seat because in the Bay Area, I went on BART and I just sat in the disability seat with my cane all the time because I literally couldn't stand up for the 20 to 30-minute ride. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, I just wrote about those experiences and how I felt during those times when people would be like, "Are you okay?" Because I'm kind of young, so people just assume that everything's good, and I think that a lot of people can relate to that feeling if they have chronic illness of whatever kind, be it emotional, mental, spiritual, physical. So that's what this book is about. It's just kind of my expression, just getting it out. Um, I use poetry to heal, basically. So that's what this one was about. But it's available on Amazon and KDP Worldwide. Um, yeah, so you could see all the images in color. And I also have it on my Instagrams too, and my website, maliaarrayah.com. You can see all my artwork and stuff like that. Okay, this poem is called Oceans. I feel anger. It feels like fire. Perhaps that is why my body ravishes me so. To the oceans I seek, to the peace I believe in. Where shall I find you again? The kind of happiness that comes and goes. It's like people really don't want me to find my home. They'd rather be in poverty because that is the norm. To continue to appease a system built for my failure. But I don't believe this is true. I can see the 1% chance of me succeeding, so I hold on to this cloud of hope, despite my own faults, yelling at me to give up, despite my own depression trying to latch me to my sheets, despite my own reservations to mediocrity. mediocrity. I desire to succeed. So I do have a speech impediment sometimes.
Oh wow.
Back, but I tried to get through that one. Um,
Wow. Okay. Okay.
so yeah, a lot of my stuff is about mental health and things I've experienced, like depression, anxiety. I've experienced eating disorders and overcome those, and so I try to include those in my works because I think people just relate to truth, and I tend to go towards expressing darkness because that's how I heal. Um, a lot of people may not relate to a lot of the topics that I talk about, but that's okay.
Hmm.
Um, it's just how I that's just how I heal in this lifetime, I think. But yeah, here's another creepy one.
Oh snap! Oh my! Whoa! That is very dramatic and abstract right there.
Yeah,
Holy snap! Looks like
it's
something
very nice
from
too.
looks like Pennywise or something. Oh, panic attacks. Whoa.
Text.
Okay. Wow. That's dramatic. So, do you have any social media you want to shout out?
Sure, I have my main account, which is Malia Arrayah Nahinu. Do I need to spell it out?
Oh, it's okay. I'm just gonna
Okay.
put it in the video, like
So I
the.
have my main Instagram, and that's the main one. And then I also have the kind of my not as well known one because I don't really shout that one out as much. It's called the Gothic Giraffe,
Mm.
Thicgiraff. And that's where you'll see like my artworks and the kind of abstract modeling images that I take, and either I take them as a photographer or I am photographed. Just other things on there that's a little bit different, too different to post on my main account. So that's what that one is. Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Thank you guys for watching Quarantine Chronicles. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. What I want you guys to do is go check out Malia on Instagram and social media. Links will be down in the description below. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and tell me what you thought of this video. And catch you guys on the next episode. And Instant Human Entertainment out.